U.S. strategy on Iran, military pressure, diplomacy, and the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. officials say progress is being made toward key military objectives related to Iran, while emphasizing that these goals could potentially be achieved without deploying large-scale ground troops. Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed that approximately 3,500 U.S. service members arrived aboard the amphibious assault USS Tripoli, IL-77 over the weekend, while another amphibious ship, USS Boxer, LHD-4, is transporting more than 2,000 Marines toward the region. These deployments come as the United States continues both military preparations and diplomatic engagement with Iran. A 10-day pause for negotiations. The White House recently announced a 10-day pause in potential strikes targeting Iranian energy infrastructure to allow additional time for negotiations. Early signals from Iran suggested limited cooperation during this period. Iranian authorities allowed several commercial vessels to pass through the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister also reported that Iran agreed to permit additional vessels under the Pakistani flag to transit the strait. Analysts say these developments may represent early confidence-building measures, though questions remain about Iran's long-term intentions. Control of the Strait of Hormuz remains a key issue. According to military analyst Jim Hansen, Iran's control over access to the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical strategic challenges in the current situation. He suggested Iran may attempt to influence regional shipping activity as leverage in negotiations, including by regulating passage through the strait. Ensuring uninterrupted maritime trade remains a central objective for the United States and its partners. Military buildup and negotiation strategy. Observers say the United States appears to be pursuing a dual-track strategy, continuing diplomatic negotiations, maintaining military pressure through regional deployments. Hansen noted that President Donald Trump has historically used uncertainty as part of his negotiating approach, making it difficult for adversaries to predict whether troop deployments represent deterrence, signaling, or preparation for potential operations. Possible scenarios discussed by analysts include limited operations aimed at disabling missile launch sites or securing strategic islands such as Karg Island. However, Hansen emphasized that large-scale ground deployments would likely be considered only as a last resort. Strategic objectives of the campaign. According to Hansen, the primary goals of current U.S. operations include reducing Iran's nuclear capabilities, limiting missile launch capacity, protecting international shipping routes, preventing disruptions to global energy trade. He suggested that these objectives could be achieved through a combination of military pressure and diplomatic coordination with international partners. Possible ground operations and covert activity. Reports referenced by analysts suggest that limited ground operations, if approved, would likely focus on narrowly defined missions rather than large-scale invasion efforts. These include securing sensitive nuclear materials, targeting missile infrastructure, controlling strategic islands near maritime shipping lanes. Hansen also noted that intelligence activity in the region likely involves multiple actors, including Israel's intelligence service Mossad. Such operations typically remain undisclosed publicly. International coordination and pressure on Iran. Rubio indicated that diplomatic coordination with European and regional partners remains an important component of the strategy. Analysts say increasing international concern about missile threats and maritime security may contribute to broader cooperation aimed at stabilizing shipping routes and limiting escalation. This combines diplomatic pressure, economic leverage, military deterrence, to influence Iran's decisions. Cruise missile usage and air superiority. Reports suggested that U.S. forces used hundreds of cruise missiles during the early phase of operations. Hansen said these strikes helped reduce Iranian air defense capabilities, allowing U.S. aircraft greater operational flexibility. He noted that once air superiority is established, additional strike options become available using precision-guided weapons carried by aircraft such as B-52 Stratofortress, B-2 Spirit. Regional escalation risks. Recent developments also included reports that the Iran-aligned Houthi movement launched attacks toward Israel. Analysts also raised concerns about possible military cooperation between Iran and other major powers, including support involving drone technology. Hansen described such involvement as a broader geopolitical concern that could complicate regional stability and international security efforts. Conclusion: U.S. strategy toward Iran currently appears to combine diplomacy, military readiness, and international coordination. Officials say the objective remains reducing Iran's ability to threaten regional security and global shipping routes, while avoiding unnecessary escalation whenever possible.